In this video, we're going to discuss one of the most important concepts in React, something called state management. And before we actually understand state management, we need to understand another important concept called conditional rendering. They are kind of interrelated because in your application, you will be using them together a lot. I have a small example. So over here, we have our regular React component and we're using something different here. We have this const, then we have this array destructuring thing going on, then we have this useState method which we are importing from React and we are passing some value to it. So what's going on here? Um, Before I tell you what's going on here, I think the easiest thing to understand here is this logic actually. So over here, we are conditionally rendering something based on this variable is logged in. Pretty basic functionality. If we go to VS Code, if you can see, we have this page like please login to continue, right? So if I say login, now I'm logged in and it says you are logged in. If I do log out, then it's switching back and forth. Pretty basic thing, like you go to any regular app, if you have a sign in, then you have a sign out button, right? And that flips. Under the hood, that is using conditional rendering, whatever framework they're using, but they were doing something with condition. They have a variable in their app which is flipping true and false. As it true shows you different text, if it's false shows you different text. Basically, this is what conditional rendering is. I hope this is easy to understand so that we can track back to here. Now, what's going on here? So state, what is state? So state, as you can understand in this simple example, here it's just a variable which changes with user's action because we need to track things in our application, right? We need to track what user is doing. If it's typing, submitting, these all things are, you can imagine them as state, and these are changing their values all the time. Like a reactive application have a lot of things going on. If you go to Facebook, Instagram, X, you're liking, disliking, unliking, commenting, all these things are changing some variable in the database most of the time. Like these values stored in database, not every time, because see, most of the things can be locally saved in your browser, but most and sometimes like you have to send them to database. That's not the point. So what we're doing here is we have this variable is logged in which we are passing, then we have this set is log. What is that? So if you see, so this is a function which accepts a boolean, right? So over here, what's going on here is this setter function is responsible for changing this variable, and this is how like you mutate state in React. And don't worry, we are going to talk deep about reactivity, about state management of React. So this is just a basic example so that you get the whole picture, and then we will dive deep and try to understand like what's going under the hood. So for now, just remember that this is a variable you need every time. If you want to change this, you are not going to put like any condition directly changing this. If you need to change this variable, do it via the setter function. We call it setter function React, so that React knows like you're changing this variable. React needs to track things, right? Under the hood, React is tracking things. So basically, this is the function we are using here. Now we have this event listener. When you click, we are running this function, and what we're doing, we're passing the opposite value of logged in. We are the default value we're giving is false. So as you click it, it will flip. It will flip to true. So here is logged in is true, then the value becomes logout. So that when you come here, when you click here, the value become logout. If you click back, so this is switching back and forth, back and forth. So this is the very basic way of handling state in React. I hope you get something, if not everything, because in the future videos, we're going to dive deep how to do proper state management if your application gets complex, because this is a very simple example. So that's it from this video. In the next video, we are going to see how to use other hooks. Oh, by the way, I think I didn't mention these are called hooks. My bad. I should have started with that. So these are called hooks, like hooks. You can hook them in your application and you can track changes. And yeah, in the next videos, we are going to discuss more about hooks because React is mostly about hooks nowadays, and they're fun. They're really fun. I think they're amazing tools in the React ecosystem. That's it. See you next time.